You found the Love Flight podcast. I'm Paul Tizard, fearofflying coach, and I've been helping nervous flyers since 1997. So in this podcast, you are going to find aviation experts, psychologists, coaches, enthusiasts, and people, normal, just like you, who have overcome their fears. Welcome. Welcome to the Love Flight podcast, Andreana. Thank you so much for giving your time to go and join us today. Really keen to hear your story. So,
Thank you for having me. I'm Andreana, and I love to travel, but unfortunately, my fear of flying has kind of seemed to put a bit of a temporary stop to it for a little while. I haven't been able to do as much travelling as I've wanted to. Because it's quite a debilitating feeling, really. Kind of, it takes over completely, becomes completely irrational. Your rational way just leaves you immediately when you're kind of get to the front of the airport.
So tell us, rewind a bit. So tell us how it started. Were you always nervous flyer? Was it something's crept up on you?
No, I wasn't. So the first time I flew, I was 21. I went to Ibiza. That was a bit, freaked out on takeoff. It felt like I was going to fly to the moon or something. But, really, I was fine. It was absolutely fine. The flight home was really turbulent. I didn't even think anything of it. It's almost like my brain shut down when I got off the plane.
Yeah.
It was just like getting into any other mode of transport. Not care. The turbulence made me feel a bit sick, but other than that, I was not bothered. So that was 2015. And then 2019, I went to Cuba. And I made the fatal error of staying up all night because I thought, I missed my flight. I've got to be at the airport at 6 a.m.
Right.
Me and my mate stayed up all night, drank about 2 bottles of wine, drank coffee, and they are major triggers for my anxiety, generally speaking. I got to the airport and thought, what am I doing? This is not good. Got on the plane on takeoff and began hyperventilating.
Right.
Started panicking because of the knowledge of I'm flying over the Atlantic in 7 hours, there's no land. And I was just in a massive panic. I spent the 8 hours whipped to the sea.
Right.
Absolutely terrified. Landed in Cuba, come home. On the way back, it was at the same. I was absolutely petrified the whole way. Everybody was asleep on the plane. Wide awake, gripping the armrest. And then I didn't fly for a little while because of COVID and everything. And then I had a couple more trips where I went away. Anxiety was really bad, but I was fortunate enough to have friends with me who were really understanding, really understanding.
Can I just rewind a bit? Because that's really interesting. That bit where you said where you flew on your wine and coffee diet, do you think it was that, or was there anxiety underneath it anyway?
I think there was a slight anxiety just about the fact that I'm flying over the Atlantic Ocean. I've never done that before. And obviously, and now I know that they do have emergency routes, but I didn't know that at the time. And it freaked me out. It really freaked me out. But I think I would have been able to hold it together if it wasn't for the wine and coffee. And I think the catalyst of my fear was that panic attack. I don't think I would have a fear now if I didn't have that one panic attack at that time.
Yeah.
So the fear now, it's not about being in question. It's not about any medical emergencies. My fear is my behaviour. That's what I'm scared of, having panic attacks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you still got the fear at the moment? You say, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've got better. I went to Turkey earlier this year, and for the first time in years, I flew medication-free, alcohol-free, got on the plane, absolutely loved it. There was children with me, so we had fun, like guessing what country we were flying over. It was great. And then I went to Greece the week before last, and it was really bad.
Okay. So what changed then? So you sound like, so from my point of view then, so you've had a bad experience, sort of start with a not great, then you've had a bad experience, then you've had a good one, then you've had a bad experience. So what's going on?
I think I think it was too rushed. I got a phone call from my mum. Let's go on holiday next week. And I was like, okay. Usually I plan everything. I usually have my medication in my bum bag when I travel. I have all my little notepads with books to read. I have my stay calm. And I forgot to pack it in because it was so rushed. I got on the plane and I sat down and I thought, I don't want to do this. And I tried to get off the plane.
Right.
And someone was like, no, sit down. So I did. And the whole holiday was ruined with me just crying every day. I felt trapped. We was in Crete. So I couldn't get any other form of transport back. Realistically, it wasn't really possible. So it was just an all round horrible holiday with the panic. I went to fly home and refused to get on the plane. I was like, I can't do it. I went on the plane, went into the cockpit with the pilot. He tried to calm me down, and I was just like, I can't do it.
So what were you thinking? What do you think was going on for you at that point then? It's made it so bad.
My rational brain just kind of left. We have really bad turbulence flying out. I've not really been scared of turbulence before, but it was really bad, really, really bad. And I got really scared.
Right.
I made the error. I had a look on the turbulence app and I thought, it was going to be serious. So I thought, oh no, I can't do this. I couldn't do it. I got a plane and it caused the whole drama. I had to go and get another hotel room, book a whole another flight.
Yeah.
I even had to go to the hospital to sort out my anxiety because it was so bad.
Crikey.
Really bad. Yeah. So they prescribed me some medication. The next morning, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, you are getting on that plane. We don't have time for any more crying or jumping off plane. You are getting on that plane.
So what made the difference? So where did that come from then? That inner resolve?
I just realised I can't live in Greece. I can't live here. I mean, it'd be nice, but I can't. I mean, it was, if I don't get on this flight, then there's no option. What would that have to be put out to sleep to get home? I think I just knew I can't create anymore. I have to get on that flight. Yeah. And also, I listened to the podcast on repeat, episode 130 on repeat, constantly. Also, that night, well, actually, for a couple of nights on the holiday, I was listening to fearofflying hypnosis and parasympathetic hypnosis. And I think that helped, but also my support at home was amazing. Just people, having compassionate people around me.
Yeah.
Really, really helped. And talking to the airline is a really good, it's been great for me over the years with my fearofflying, not even just for that particular flight. There was a flight from Barcelona. I was really, really scared. And the airline saw me got on. I was crying my eyes out. And they sat an off-duty pilot next to me, which was absolutely lovely of them. And he talked me through each noise.
Wow.
Why the plane goes like this when we're taking off. He was like, I was just trying to avoid noise. And it just made me feel so much better. So, yeah.
So you've hired that pilot for every flight?
I'd love to. I'd love to. Yeah. I've had some great experiences with fantastic flight attendants because they're trained in what they do and they probably come across people like me every day and it's just more for that point, So it's really, really helpful.
So where are you now then in terms of your fear of flying?
Right now, I'm due to go to Mexico in December, and I'm possibly not going to go.
What?
I know. But Dieter said something in the 130 episode. He said, if you're not going to get on the plane, there's no shame in that. It was something along these lines. You need to have a plan in order. You can't just be, I didn't go, and then you're feeling ashamed. Yeah. And I feel like that's where I'm at. I need to work on my theory. I need to look at a fearofflying course, the 30-day program. That's where I'm at really. I'm kind of giving myself until the end of the month to make the decision. I've got a plan in place, and that's what's important at the moment, I think.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. So this is recorded we're doing this. I don't know what the date is today, but we're near the end of September.
Yeah.
So this is good. So this is a great one actually, Adriana, because we can now have permission to stalk you, don't we?
Yes, yeah.
So right, what's going on? So are you on the Facebook group? You're in the Love Flight Facebook group, aren't you? Yeah. Right. Okay. Are you under a code name or is it your real name?
No, it's my real name. Yeah.
Right. But anyone listening, permission to stalk her, offer encouragement, positive vibes, anything you want to do. So, okay. So you said that you're going to make a decision by the end of the month what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Where's your head at the moment?
I'm kind of in two places at the moment. This was one blip, but I've made such massive progress.
Yeah.
And knowledge is power, and I've learned so much about aviation. It's almost like a love-hate relationship I have with aviation. I think it's incredible, but my fear is like, ugh.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of at a place where I think I've made progress. That was one blip, but then there's another part of me that was like, well, actually, that was a major blip. That was the biggest blip I've had. I need to put myself through 10 days in the Americas where there's no other option to get home other than flying and just having panic attacks every day. I'm a bit in the fence at the moment, but I just know that I am going to do a course 100%.
Okay. It was interesting what you're telling yourself about that situation. You're already telling yourself, I don't want to get there for 10 days, not be able to get back any other way, have a panic attack every day. So not every other day, you can have a daily one. I mean, you'll set your alarm, get out, panic attack. I mean, I'm giving, I'm trying to do a bit of helpful interrogating you. So it's like, you're kind of already imagining, aren't you, what that situation's. And so, and right now, you've actually got, so what date would it be in December?
The 4th of December.
Right, okay. So you've got a good chunk of time, haven't you, to decide. When do you have to make a decision by?
So I've decided that I'm giving myself until the 30th. Actually, I haven't even got until a couple of weeks. I've only got like a couple of days. But I'm giving myself until the 30th to kind of make my mind up of what I'm going to do. I mean, unfortunately, the person I'm traveling with, she said to me that worst case scenario, we get to the airport and you can't get on the plane. There's no train when you plan to just go. It's fine. Nobody will be disappointed. So I don't feel that intense pressure on making a decision. But I feel like if I can conquer that flight, then maybe one day I can go to Australia. I can go to New Zealand.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So do you mind if I ask you a few questions around this? So I'm curious about your kind of the motivation area. So what's the Mexico flight about?
So me and my friends, we booked a holiday to Mexico earlier this year. She had a chronic fear of flying, and she's conquered it. And she was like, "Well, if I can conquer my fear of flying, let's do a transatlantic flight." And I was like, "Well, I'm kind of at the same place, so let's do it." Because this was after I went to Turkey and I had that fantastic flight. I was really ready for it. I was thinking, I might be a little bit anxious, but I've got this. Fine.
Right. Okay. There's a couple of questions I've got to ask now. Okay. And the two questions, right? What do you do that's different for Turkey? All right. So how did you set yourself up for success in that one? And also, second question, answering whatever order you like. What did your friend do? How did she get by hers? All right.
Okay. So, as for my friend, she's a tough love kind of person for herself. So she was very tough on herself. And she said, she just puts on some music that makes her feel powerful on takeoff. So she puts it on full blast, and she said that when she first did it, tears were streaming down her face, and she was holding onto the armrest. It just made her feel so much better. And from there, she flies by herself now. No medication, nothing. Just gets on the plane, absolutely fine. So for her, I think it was just about believing that she's strong enough to do it.
Why was Turkey so good? What happened? What did you do then? Because you've obviously got the resources, haven't you? If you can do it once, you can do it again. So let's go. What are we playing up?
I'm thinking what I did is I watched a lot of flight takeoff simulation videos before, and there was always takeoff that I didn't like. Takeoff was the problem for me. So I've watched a lot of those videos on the lead up. But I also just kind of put myself down. I remember the night before that horrible feeling in my stomach, and I said to myself, "We haven't really got time for that feeling. Just don't fight your stomach. You're gonna feel it, and that's okay." Also, the mantra that I remember saying to myself frequently is, "It's a feeling, it's not a fact." And I would say that all the time on the way to the airport. I had a little grizzle when we were walking through, the little bit to get on the plane.
Yeah, the little jet finger thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a little grizzle, but I just kept repeating that mantra. I tried to do that in Greece, but I think that anxiety was just too powerful that time. I don't know what I kind of let slip. But yeah, it did. And also flying with people who could be compassionate for my fear makes a massive difference to me. So my best friend, she sat with me, she held my hand, and we sat there and guessed each other's granddad's middle name. And it take my mind off the fact that we were taking off. And by that point, I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. How blessed are we to be able to travel like this?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that was the Turkey. So you had a bit of distraction. How long before? Because what I'm trying to do is understand. I get the fact that the Crete one was quicker. There's a week's notice. So how long before the Turkey one were you preparing yourself?
I mean, I had my bags packed like 2 weeks before. I had my anxiety kit, care package already ready.
Right, okay. We'll come back to the care package. Okay, what about the videos and stuff you're watching? How long before that were you doing it? How often?
I'd say for the week leading up, every single night, sometimes multiple times in a day. And then before that, it was, like every couple of nights or so throughout the week.
So do you recommend anyone in particular that you're watching, or just general pilot takeoff?
It was, actually, I follow a couple of pilots. There's Pilot Maria, I think her name is.
Oh, yeah.
He works for Ryanair, another pilot, and I should have written down her name, so I was meant to beat her up. She also works for Ryanair as well, and they usually take off from Stansted. And they have their children, and you see them coming back with their kids and stuff, and you think, why would you do this job? If kids get higher too, so they really normalise it. Like sometimes they do like makeup tutorials, and it just humanises them even more. Like you're not just a robot who sits in this cockpit. You're just
got beauty tips as well. Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. So that really helped. I also delete my TikTok before I go on holiday now as well. Because I'll be like typing in like the place where I'm going, and it comes up with a lot of triggering videos. It's almost I don't know. I'll be looking at like pilot takeoff videos, and then the next video is not great. So TikTok, I have to delete that. That's a big trigger for me.
Yeah, that's a smart move actually, because it does feed off what you search for, doesn't it? So it kind of just knows.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about your care kit. What's in that?
Okay, so
all the secrets, there's no secrets on this podcast.
So I have my diet plan. I also have.
Do you use them, or are they kind of just there just in case?
So when I went
very practical questions. Yeah, sorry.
So it's fine. When I went to Turkey, I didn't use them at all for the first time. I didn't take them, but I required a bigger dose.
Right. Okay. So diazepam, just in case. Break glass, just in case. Yeah.
And then I also have recipe anti-sickness, fabulous turning, make me feel a bit ill. I also take some crystals with me. I don't know, but I have like a safe travel crystal care package. So I put that in my bag.
Okay, is it a particular crystal? Because some people will want to know. Is it one which is like your birthstone one, or is it just a random?
Like a whole bit. I'll take a picture of it and I'll pop it on the at some point. But
someone will ask me, they'll go, "What crystals do you use?"
Yeah. I think there's like amethyst in there, obsidian. There's a whole array of crystals in this little bag that I keep. I also I take a book with me a book that I'm really enjoying, because that really takes my mind off it, because I'm just, deep into the book, really. So
you can read them when you fly, even if you're really nervous, you can sort.
Once I'm up in the air, so, I mean, there has been like that flight from Cuba, I couldn't even watch TV, I couldn't read anything, I mean, barely do, I was so anxious, but after a while, having that care package has helped me be able to take my mind off stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Anything else in the package? That's quite good list so far.
Yeah, I think that is usually about, I mean, I've downloaded some programs on my laptop. I always make sure I do that, because that makes it feel like I'm looking forward to something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then I always try to book my seat and pick my seat before I get on the plane as well. I like to sit at the front of the plane. I feel like I feel the intensity of the takeoff as much when I'm at the front.
Which is true. You don't feel as much. It's true.
No, it just feels so much better sitting at the front, and also you get snacks there. So,
yeah. So there's another motive here going on. Feed me. Yeah.
So yeah, and then I like to get a middle seat. I know a lot of people don't really like middle seats, but I like to sit between two people so I can hold both their hands because I'm panicking. So,
right. Okay. Do you have to know them, or is it's optional?
Not always. I mean, on my flight back from the most recent one, I said to the lady next to me, I didn't know her from Adam, I said, I'm going to have to hold your hand. I'm so sorry. So, yeah, and she was actually a solo traveller, and she was like, I've been sort of fine, don't worry about it. You know.
Yeah. She wasn't available for hire then either, I guess.
No.
Okay, so, because I see a side service that could be offering hand holding, yeah. I think Higgins does this, not necessarily hand holding. He does do the accompanied flight. The guy who did the flight checklist, yeah. And I know he's done quite a few of these over the years, so he might be able to hire. You could have your own sort of like Pete Higgins next to you.
That'd be amazing, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he'd love to do that,
Yeah.
Especially if you go to Mexico.
That's the other thing. Yeah, of course. But that checklist, again, I've saved that to my phone. That's great, because on takeoff, what used to freak me out the most was you take off, everything seems fine, and then you just feel this little jump back, and it used to, like, my senses would just leave my body, and I would feel like I'm falling out of the back of the plane. Yeah. But it's actually just, I think somebody said, the pilot said to me, it's just pulling back the throttle.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, and it was on the checklist, and it reminded me actually fine, normal.
Yeah.
If it didn't do that, then you should probably worry. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't do that, then you're being very noisy. It's just a noise reduction thing. That's all it is. So there'll be no trouble. You said there'll be no trouble for you. It would just be for people who live near the airports getting annoyed.
Yeah. I can't use. Oh, yeah. It makes sense. I mean, there was a girl on my Swiss, but she's an air hostess, and she was off duty, and she was saying to me, everything about a plane is so fascinating because it's all built to be in the air.
Yeah.
The armor, they're built in this way for flying, and the shutters, they don't lift up for a reason, and just knowing all of that made me feel a lot better, really.
Yeah.
Because knowledge is power, I think that really, the more you know about aviation, the better it'll make you feel.
Yeah, I think that is true. I mean, I always say this, is that there's lots of reasons to having the fear, but one of the things which is, I think, to fix, if that's the right word, or to address, maybe that's a better word, is that, what do I believe about flying? Because sometimes the fear can be the thing that's holding the fear up is an incorrect belief or assumption, or you only know what you know, don't you? There aren't passenger training courses, so people don't know the stuff that you know when you work in aviation. So somebody get all that out of the way, all that's left is kind of, what am I telling myself about this experience?
Yeah,
it's a bit both.
The feeling. Yeah, no, I like it. The feeling, it's not a fact. The feeling it is overwhelming. Like when I get a feeling in my stomach of anxiety, very overwhelming, but it's a feeling, it's not a fact. The fact is flying is the safest mode of transport ever. And we're actually, as humans, so incredibly intelligent and lucky to have created this thing and to be able to experience it. You know, there are some people who have never even been able to go on a plane. And I am lucky in that aspect to have, you know, been able to do this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So next steps then, so that we can stalk and support you, would be?
I think the kind of advice that I've picked up in the group has been great. I think talking to people who have overcome the fear or are still facing it but still powering through it is great. Yeah, I just think the more knowledge I have, the better I'll do.
Yeah. So how are we going to know what the decision is then? Will you tell us? You know, we won't judge you.
Yeah. I'm going to keep you guys updated. I'm going to tell you when what I choose to do and when I go on my course and all that stuff. I'm going to keep everybody updated, definitely.
Yeah. So what's your feeling right now? If I said to you, you had to make a decision right now, you're flying, not flying, what's the percentage split? Gut instinct.
Gut instinct. I would say that I'm like 60-40 at the moment ongoing.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, I don't want to miss out on this experience. I really, really would love to go. I just feel like it'd just be fantastic to be able to experience that, and I feel like I'll pick myself one day. But the 40 is, I don't want to have any more panic attacks, but...
No, that's fair enough. No, we want that. You know. So what? Yeah. So there's a couple of questions just to sort of get you thinking about this. Then, and I like these questions. Just like, what is the impact of you not getting this sorted out?
The impact is my dream to kind of travel will just stop. You know, the furthest I'll probably end up going to is Ibiza, and then that's about it. Because I feel I love going there so much. It's worth the fear, you know. So, but that it will prohibit me experiencing any more of the world. And I would like to get a job abroad one day and be able to come home to see my family frequently. But at the moment, as far as this fear stands, it's got to stop all of that.
Yeah.
So,
because it does sound like the impact will be quite dramatic then, if you don't get it.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I was going to say, I mean, I'm meant to, my family are from Grenada in the Caribbean, and we're meant to all go out there next year. And that's a long journey. You know, we have to do a layover in Antigua and then fly to Grenada and then get this tiny plane that fits about 4 people on it to the tiny island, which I'm actually from. But it's a part of who I am. I need to go there, you know. So I need to conquer this, and Mexico's not too far, so if I can get over Mexico, then I can definitely go.
Yeah, well, Mexico is a good one because that's quite a longish flight, isn't it? But it's just I'm assuming going direct, but it is still quite a fair old long flight, so that's good practice one.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's quite a bit riding on this flying stuff and getting past it, isn't it?
Massive, yeah. It is the biggest. It's kind of the biggest thing like holding me back in my life at the moment. My kind of fear of flying. I mean, I have a lot of anxieties over heights in general. Although weirdly enough, I'm not scared of heights when I'm in the plane. Doesn't make sense.
No. Well, it's perfect sense to me.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, no, I think I've just got to kind of get over it. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think you need to get you to change that 60% into a bigger number?
I need to be confident in I need to trust myself, because my trust is not that I don't trust aviation or the staff or anything like that. It's myself. I need to push through this fear and really believe that it's just a feeling and it's not a fact.
So what would need to happen for you to trust yourself like you did when you went to Turkey, do you think?
Oh gosh, I need to take this brain out and give it a good old shake, I think.
That is a service we offer. Yeah, John Bond to do that. Yeah, no problems. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, of course. I think also doing the fear of flying course is going to really help me. A bit more knowledge, and also just getting used to on the plane again and like that. So yeah.
So what's in your mind to do? What sort of thing are you looking at in terms of course wise?
I'm looking at the I know EasyJet does one from Luton Airport where they take off, like you have like the flight experience and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what I kind of believe is that kind of flight experience. So anything to do with that, I know British Airways does one. I'm not sure if they do the flight experience though, but
they do, yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah, I'm gonna keep having a look. I mean, I live right by City Airport, so anything that was there would be perfect really. But yeah.
So for you, the thing will be to do the kind of the immersive thing. Do the course with the flight attached to it. That's what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I think it's basically the one who conquered their fear. Yeah, immersion therapy is the best. Okay. I feel that's where I'm at.
And you agreed to come on this because you listen to the podcast as well. So is there a particular episodes that you would recommend other people? Because there's a lot now. We're up to 145 today.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. Are there any in particular that you think you should definitely listen to this?
Episode 130 is fantastic. I think there's a lot of people in that who, when I was listening to them, I was thinking, you feel exactly the way I do. I felt like this. I really kind of personalised my fear as if nobody else experienced it.
Yeah.
So that episode, I think, is fantastic. I can't.
Wish it was my idea. It wasn't my idea. It's not my idea, no. I can't take any credit for it. I just recorded it, yeah. But it wasn't too long though, because somebody said to me, "Oh, it's too long." But I thought I couldn't think of any of it that I could trim out, so I left it as it was.
Oh, it was great. It's really, really good. That was the one I had on repeat. Also, there was a lady, I can't remember the number of the episode, but she lived in France and then would have to fly. It should drive back to England rather than getting on a plane, but then started getting on planes again. And I really identified with her, and I found that really, really helpful. It was a bit where she'd say, she's put her children on the flight. She knew that they would safe, but she wouldn't get it on herself.
Yeah.
I felt like
I remember that one.
That was it. Really insightful episode.
Yeah. Can't remember what number that was though. I do remember that was not too long ago. That one was it? I was just trying.
No, and I think I remember she mentioned the episode 130, and that's what made me go and listen to that one after.
Okay, all right.
And then also the episode where you do the breathing technique.
Okay, 34.
Yeah, fantastic episode. Yeah, really good. Definitely recommend download them if you've got Spotify or anything or whatever. You can download them on your phone and then listen to them when you're on the plane, and then you've got it always there, so they're great.
Yeah. Have you listened to any of the pilot ones?
I think I've listened to one with the pilot and it had like a segment in it. I don't think so.
Okay, because there's a bunch of them with listen out for Captain Steve. So he does a few about flying over water, flying at night, stages of flight. Some of the early ones. Have a listen to that. They come highly recommended, so that'll be worth it. Have a listen.
That'll be great. Yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely have a listen to those.
Okay, so we're going to clear off shortly. So any final tips that you'd like to give to the humans listening?
I think best tip that I have is speak to the airline. So when you board the plane, if you can just quickly say to them, I'm a really, really nervous flyer, go and get in your seat. Before they take off, they'll come back to you and they'll have a quick chat with you and they'll keep coming back. Like some of the most compassionate and kind people I've ever come across are flight attendants. And they'll literally just look at you in this way where you just feel like this is fine. I'm fine. Everything's great. Also, I would, like I've said on a number of occasions, is knowledge is power. if you just try and educate yourself as much as possible on aviation and everything like that, it will put a lot of your fears at rest. And also, there's no shame in being scared of flying either. It's one of them things, but you can overcome it, like so many people in our group have done. But there's no shame in it either. So, yeah.
Okay, nice. All right, so we'll be looking forward to your decision. And please, in the Love Fly Facebook group, do put your comments in and stuff, and you'll get lots of people chiming in to offer help, as I'm sure they have done already. And then we should be looking to see what happens with you. Yeah. We want to know. We want regular updates.
I will do. Fingers crossed, I'll be sending you a picture of me in Mexico, like of wherever I am. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, thank you. And thank you so much for coming on today. And I'm really, really grateful for that. And I do wish you all the very best. I'm really pleased. I think yours is an interesting one. We quite like these in the group where someone comes on like early doors, like they've got more work to do. And then not finished article. And then we sort of see. But then obviously you'll have to come back when you are much further over. That's the rule.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules. Absolutely. It's just one of the rules, that when you get over it, got to come back and tell us what you did.
I will do, definitely. I'll look forward to that day as well when I can tell people I got over it. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you. It's lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for coming on, giving your time up, and I can't wait to hear what happens next. So I wish you all the very best. And,
thank you so much.
Maybe you can just keep that sort of why you're doing it in your head.
Absolutely.
What you will lose if you don't. That can be quite helpful in those kind of dark moments.
Yeah, absolutely. I should write a list and just keep it. Put that in my little care pack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The care pack's getting bigger.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Nice to meet you. Take care of yourself.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Cheers. Thank you for listening to the Love Fly podcast. I hope you're finding it helpful with your fear of flying. Now, if you do need some extra tailored help, you can go to our website, lovefly.co.uk, and click on the courses button. You'll find more help there, such as our 30-day program and our on-demand webinar. Thanks again. See you next time.